Welcome. My name is David, also known as TheCloudyDave here on YouTube. This is my introduction to e-cigs part 4. In this video, I'm going to be talking about batteries, how they work, and what you need to know when you're buying your batteries. Okay. First thing you're going to want to know is that whenever you have batteries, we use rechargeable batteries. Why? Because we want to use them multiple times. It would really be bad if you pay, $5 to $12 for a battery and use it for a day or two and had to throw it out. So for that reason, we use rechargeable batteries. Rechargeable batteries obviously have a lifespan in and of themselves, but usually they're in the range of 200 to 300 cycles, which basically means charge and discharge cycles. So if a battery lasts you for a whole day and you charge it every day, it lasts you from 200 to 300 days if you charge and recharge that battery every day. So with that said, Ego is one of those batteries that has about 300 cycles lifespan before it really starts dropping in its capacity. I'll talk about capacity right now. Batteries are rated in what they call mAh rating, or milliamp hours. The bigger the number, the bigger the capacity, the longer it's going to last. Okay, Ego type battery will last. It has a 650 mAh rating, which for a beginning vaporer, it'll last you anywhere from half a day to a whole day, depending on how much you vape. Okay, when I first started vaping, I would wake up in the morning, start vaping, go to work, come back from work, vape, all the way to about 11 o'clock at night, and then it would die on me. And then I would have to go ahead and use my other battery. So that was my experience with it, so it could be yours too. But for the most part, that lasts me almost a whole day. And that's a 650 mAh. Obviously, when you vape more or you start using low resistance atomizers, you put a more draw on that battery, it's going to last shorter. So you're going to go ahead and get bigger batteries from other mods. With this mod, you could actually go ahead for the Ego and get 1,000 mAh capacity batteries. They sell them also at the liberty-flights.com. Or I think that they're either 900 to 1,000. Some places sell different levels of mAh. And basically, it'll be the same battery, it'll just be a little bit longer, depending on how much more mAh it's adding. But either way, they perform. Now, batteries are also rated in voltage. In vaping, we have 3-volt batteries, or 3 to 3.2 volt batteries, I should say, and 3.7 volt batteries. There's one particular vendor that sells a 5-volt battery, and basically it's 4 1.2 volt batteries stacked together to get 4.8 or around 5 when fully charged. But for the most part, what you're going to be dealing with is the Ego battery, which is at about 3.4 volts. Not quite 3.7, but it's pretty close. And that's a good place to start at. When you get into mods like the Omega or the Empire or other mods, you're basically going to be using batteries like this or like this. And that's me dropping batteries. Or like this. And like I said, I went through milliamp hours or mAh rating. The bigger the rating, the more capacity it has. And usually will generally tell you the size of the battery. But the size of the battery is indicated by a number that's on it. You have there 18650 on this battery. Here you have, this battery is a 16340. So these numbers actually do mean something. When they say 18650, the first two numbers, 18, is basically 18 millimeters in diameter, okay, and 65, the next two numbers, or 650, they just add an extra zero at the end, but the 65 stands for millimeters in length, so it's 18 millimeters by 65 millimeters, and they add a zero on the end of it to get 18650. On 16340s, obviously it's going to be 16 and 34 millimeters long. And again, they add a zero at the end. Why they add the zero at the end, I don't know. Or maybe because it rolls off the tongue better to say 16340 or 18650, whatever the case may be. I guess 1865 would be just as easy to say, but to each their own. But for the most part, that's what those numbers mean, and that will tell you what kind of battery will fit in your big battery mod, because they have to be machined or made to fit a certain size of battery or a certain varying sizes of batteries. So you'll know if the battery, if it can only fit a 16340, you're most likely not going to be able to get an 18650 in there because it's going to be too wide. Or if it only fits a 18650 and you get a 14500 battery, it's going to be a little too small because it's going to be shorter and thinner. So keep that in mind, that those numbers indicate the size, the actual physical size of the battery. The mod rating tell you the capacity of the battery. Sometimes even a smaller battery might have a bigger capacity because it's a better made battery or has a different chemistry inside that allows it to have more capacity. So basically a battery like this, which is a 2600 mAh, 18650, it used to last me up to 2 to 3 days before it used to die out. And a 16340, here's a 550 mAh battery. This can last me 4 to 6 hours, good vaping. So, depending on how you vape and what application you're using in, the battery times are going to vary. But just remember, bigger mAh, more capacity. The bigger that other number is, the 5-digit number, is the bigger physically the battery actually is. If you remember, the first 2 numbers is the diameter and the next 2 numbers is the length, then you'll have a pretty good perception of what the battery is going to look like or fit in a mod. Then, like I said, you also have voltage. 3.7 volt is probably the most common cell that is used. They come in several sizes, like I said, 18650, 16340, 14500. There's even a 10440. There's all different size batteries, so you want to go ahead and get the appropriate battery for the appropriate mod. Batteries, like I said, have their lifespan. So after a while, they won't hold charge as much. They'll kind of drop their basically mAh capacity, and they seem to burn out quicker, and you'll have to recharge them more often. And at that point, you want to throw out your battery. The only thing you want to know when you have batteries, you're going to need a charger. So here I have a charger that it's a rapid charger from Ultrafire that goes ahead and charges different types of batteries. This goes up and down so you can fit different batteries. So if I want to fit this battery in there, it fits, and if I wanted to put a smaller battery in there, it would fit as well because this comes up. Then if it's even smaller, I can fit them sideways because this has charging ports on the side too. So I could put a small battery in there. You can pick these up at most e-cigarette vendors, and they come able to handle different types of batteries. Most of them will charge different types of batteries. For the really small batteries, they even have smaller chargers. And for 3 volts, most of the chargers that when you're going to put a 3-volt battery in there, you're going to flip a switch to switch it from 3 volts to 6 volt to 3.6 or 3.7 volts. So that's the basics of batteries and the basics of chargers. There's not much to them. There's also one other type of battery that's out there. They're high drain batteries. I use AW IMR batteries, and IMR basically means high drain, and they work better because they're able to handle a higher amperage load on them. So without getting too much into electronics and electricity, basically they work better because they can handle more draw off of them. So high drain batteries are very good to get. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're worth it if you ask me. They come in varying voltages and sizes. So just remember, you see IMR, they're high drain, and my personal favorite are the AWs. There's other people that make them, but I've tried the AWs with much success, and I highly recommend them. There's many places you can get them. I'll leave some links below. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my next video in which I'll talk about atomizers.